Let's take a look in full at what Mr Abbott's had to say after his talks overnight with Toyota executives.
This is a difficult day for the people of Victoria and for the government of Victoria. It's a difficult day for all Australians because the motor industry, which has been a very important part of our manufacturing sector for close to 70 years, is changing and shrinking, regrettably shrinking. The important thing for governments at all levels is to try to ensure that we get the fundamentals right so that people who have good jobs today can have even better jobs tomorrow. The important thing is to try to ensure that our economies, both at the state and national level, are as strong as possible, and I'll be wanting to reassure Premier Napthine that the Commonwealth will work together with the state of Victoria to try to ensure that Victoria is as well placed as it possibly can be to face the future with confidence.
And Bill Shorten assembled half a dozen Victorian Labor MPs to push his argument today that Toyota's decision could have been prevented and that it'll cost taxpayers dearly in the long run.
We have seen the death of the Australian car industry. The Australian car industry has weathered all sorts of storms in the last 66 years since we've been making cars from start to finish. But even the Australian car industry could not survive the willful neglect of the Abbott government. What a disgraceful day yesterday. There's the Abbott government and their ministers cooking up political games, and instead, at the same time as they're playing political games, we see 2,500 people being told by their employers, that's it, your job no longer exists. The shockwaves of this economic tsunami are unprecedented in terms of employment. Just think about it. Tens of thousands of people. There's 170 prime suppliers to Toyota who are affected. There's another 1,000 companies, according to the Australian Industry Group, underpinning these suppliers. This is a bigger job loss than Ansett ever was. Tens of thousands of people, and it's not just confined to the western suburbs of Melbourne, as is testament by to the number of MPs standing with me who are worried about families in their constituencies. There are car component makers in Brisbane, Sydney, Geelong will be massively affected, Melbourne, all of the suburbs and regions of Melbourne, and of course Adelaide, just to name some of the regions.